You were one of the first people that really understood Trump in a way that you expressed it to me in a way that I really understood. I want to know, what do you think is the most misunderstood thing about the president, and why his base of support is at an all-time high?
I think the most misunderstood thing is he's extraordinarily smart. I mean, this is a guy who made billions of dollars, beat 16 people for the nomination, beat Hillary Clinton in a $1 billion campaign. You know, this is a guy who's has enormous intelligence. And the biggest part of that is, on little things, he's totally unpredictable and sometimes self-destructive. On big things, he's very consistent. He does what he says. He sticks at it month after month. And I think we get confused in part because the news media picks up all the small things. He gets anxiety-ridden. And frankly, part of the purpose, I think, every morning of his tweets is to remind liberals he's still here. He knows it drives them crazy. They wake up in the morning, the first thing they see is a tweet by Trump. They go, oh, my God, he's still president.
Yeah.
And that just means all the reporters...
to Americans who are not, you know, who say I'm really for the country. How does that make them feel?
Well, I hope that most Americans who are for the country would like the President of the United States to succeed.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Sorry, I know this is...
Could I ever stop you? I can't imagine.
Well, yeah, you could. You know, I'm never rude. But if you think most people would like the American president to succeed, do you think that the Speaker of the House, the President Speaker of the House's attitude towards Obama when he said, I'm going to do nothing to help you think that was helpful?
Mitch McConnell.
No, actually, it was McConnell. That was,
yeah, sorry, Mitch McConnell.
No, and I think he probably shouldn't have said it.
Okay.
By the way, I also think it doesn't help our side. It never helps either side, Democrat or Republican, to jump up and say, I'm so partisan, I'm not going to help. As you know, Clinton and I got lots of stuff done together, even though on occasion we fought, like every day. But I think the country doesn't mind you fighting if you're also producing.
Well, the problem is, Newt, that he lies so much. 9 lies a day. He can't seem to tell the truth, and then he attacks the press.
Well, that's just support. I'd rather think he has alternative facts.
And I would, as a patriotic American, don't you hate the idea that he puts the press down? That's the First Amendment of this country. We don't have that. We have nothing.
No, the First Amendment is the right to have a free press. That doesn't mean you have to be obedient to it.
Well, Fox is obedient to him, though. Fox is obedient.
Fox is relatively obedient.
Yeah, very. That's like state-run television.
Well, I could watch this all day long. Thank you so much, Newt Gingrich. Members of our audience are getting a copy of his new book, Trump's America. We'll be right back. Newt Gingrich has shared a lot of history and a few cocktails with me and my husband, and we are sharing the Hot Topics table with him right now. Please welcome author of Trump's America, former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. First of all, I'm so glad you're here, Newt. We are good friends. You go way back with my husband. I actually have a picture for everyone from 1995. See the one with the glasses?
Oh,
That's my husband with you after the Contract for America signing in 1995.
It's nice to know he was a geek back then.
He's a nerd for forever. You know, you were one of the people that encouraged us to get married. Had you known I would end up at this table, would you have still wanted him to marry me?
Absolutely. As good looking as you are, he's lucky you even look at him.
He's pretty cute.
He is pretty cute, actually. He is very smart.
He's very smart. He considers you a mentor. So, yes, it's very nice to have you here.
Well, we talked about the current White House resident canceling the White House celebration honoring the Philadelphia Eagles. Not one of the players took a knee during the national anthem at the Super Bowl. So what is this really about?
You know, I've been thinking about that. Lives in New York, loves the Patriots. I just wonder if he didn't want the Eagles to be with him. You know, just one of those
You're avoiding the question, Newt.
I thought, knowing Trump, that's as good an answer as any.
In your book, in your new book, Trump's America, you write about the many positive things that President Trump has done since he's taken office. What do you think the best thing is that he's done and the worst thing?
Oh, I think the best thing is the economy. I think the fact that we have the lowest black unemployment in history.
Can he take credit for that? Isn't that Obama's doing?
Oh, no. Okay.
I mean, really?
I think this quarter we will have more than twice the economic growth rate of any quarter in the 8 years of Obama.
Because he's been set up. He was given a gift.
Right. Well, that's,
It's true.
So Obama gets it both ways. He got a terrible gift from George W. Bush. He gave Trump a good gift. Anything good happens under Trump is actually Obama.
It's true.
Well, that's one way to look at the world.
Obama inherited a deficit.
Right.
Trump is inheriting a surplus.
And is accelerating it.
Well, we're in a
Getting
deficit.
bigger.
We're in a major deficit now, thanks to
no,
your
he didn't
party.
inherit a financial surplus. He inherited a gradually growing economy, and he's doubled the speed of growth.
Yeah, but he has a
Which is
second
good.
part to this question that I'm interested in.
Go ahead.
I think the worst thing he's done
Yeah.
is he has joined in the general reduction of the quality of language in America. I think there are times when Trump says things and does things that, frankly, as President of the United States, he ought to set a tougher standard for himself than just being a businessman saying whatever he thinks. I think so many people watch the President of the United States that there's sort of a standard of performance so people could follow you and imitate you. And there are times, frankly, you know, I would not particularly want my grandchildren to talk like Donald Trump.
It's not just that news. It's his disrespect for the McCain family, for the Khan family, for these guys who are trying to make a point about the
For
black
Haiti and
lives
Africa.
in this country. I mean, it's more than just the verbiage. I have many. My language is horrible, as you might have.
Really?
I said something during the break that you went, whoa. So I don't care about language. It's really the sentiment behind it that's killing the country.
She was asking me my opinion,
Okay, but
not your opinion.
all right, but-
I'll be glad for you to substitute your opinion for
Well,
mine.
this is called The View, so we all give our opinions here.
Well, you were one of the first. When President Trump spoke about liking people who weren't captured in regard to Senator McCain, you were someone who came out. So you're speaking not just language, but some of the content of.
I thought it
what
was
he goes
terrible.
after.
I thought it was terrible. I still think it was terrible. I think that,
you also-
and again, it's your dad, but when you look at what John McCain went through, and you look at the courage he showed, and you look at him refusing to be released before the rest of the prisoners, it's an extraordinary statement of courage. I just thought Trump, look, I like Trump, but when Trump's wrong, I just say he's wrong.
Should he apologize to John?
Sure, of course he should.
Yeah.
But he won't.
I want to ask you about the Mueller investigation. It's been a year since Robert Mueller took over the Russia investigation, and at the time you said, quote, Mueller was a superb choice. You still feel that way?
No, I am so saddened by how Mueller has done this. The 17 lawyers he's hired are all liberal Democrats. One of the lawyers actually was one of Hillary's lawyers.
Mueller's a Republican.
Well, apparently he's a very vague Republican because everybody on his team is a liberal Democrat. The
I don't
fact
know if
is,
that's true. A lot of them are
But
Republicans, too.
I don't think that's
so.
true.
Really, aren't lawyers like judges, though? You entrust a judge to be objective. Aren't lawyers supposed to approach the law in the same way, black
No.
and
I was at
white?
the U.S.
No.
Attorney's Office. I didn't know the politics of anybody that I tried
well,
cases
I
with.
can guarantee you that if you look at who they donated money to, if you look at the fact that the worst lawyer in his group was at Hillary's election night event, and in fact that lawyer was repudiated 9-0 by the Supreme Court for having hid evidence in a case he prosecuted. I really am saddened by how Mueller's handled this.
So you're saddened by the team put in place?
But look, I have a very simple Jerry Maguire comment. Remember Jerry Maguire, show me the money?
Yes.
This guy's had $17 million, a year and a half. It's supposed to be about Russia. Show me something that relates.
I can show you
Trump,
the 17 indictments and the 5 guilty pleas.
but they're not about Russia. There's no evidence. There's no evidence that ties Donald J. Trump to anything involving Russia.
Not yet.
We don't know that
Not yet. We don't know.
Well, like I said, it's exactly like, show
We
me
know
the
he
evidence.
fixed that
He's
letter.
working on it.
He's got
said
a
he
year and a
fixed
half
that
and
letter.
$17 million. He ought to have something by now.
Well, but he said he fixed that letter, right?
Yeah, he
First
dictated
the
the
letter
letter.
that nobody knew about it, and then maybe his son wrote it, then no, his dad wrote it. I mean, don't you think that you must go through the process to find out if there is anything? Or are you saying, you're assuming that it's already you? Have you taken the idea that our government is corrupt?
Yes.
Really?
And how long has it been that way, Newt?
Well, I think you can go back to a number of cases. I think the special counsel in the Bush years that set up Scooter Libby was totally corrupt, totally dishonest. I think that the U.S. attorney who convicted a senator from Alaska, and then later it turned out that, in fact, he had hidden the evidence that proved the senator was innocent. There's an entire book on this that walks by Sidney Powell that walks you through case by case. Weissman, who's the lawyer I was referring to that works now for Mueller, is in her book because he destroyed Arthur Anderson with false evidence. He was repudiated 9-0 by the Supreme Court, and this guy is still there as though he was an honest man.
Let me ask you something about the length of time. How long did Watergate take? I believe it was 3 years, and we didn't know anything about it. Until all the evidence came out.
Well, first of all,
course,
you knew the first night because the police picked up the guys.
Well, yeah, there was a
we didn't
break-in,
know
but we
what
didn't know that
was- yeah,
Nixon
but
was
go ahead.
involved. It took a long time and a lot of investigation for that to come out. But this is the same situation. We don't know what Mueller has. He's tight as a drum, this guy.
It's not tight as a
Nothing
drum.
has
They
leaked.
leak to the New York Times anytime they want to leak. Look at the number of leaks in the New York Times.
Like what? What has leaked from Mueller's office?
A number of things have leaked.
A
Like
ton.
what? Like what?
Well, I don't have it on my note card right now, but a ton. And he's through his professor friend.
What is leaked?
I just.
Oh, you mean the Comey?
Well, wasn't
That was
Comey,
that
I'm sorry.
leak.
That's- we have to
That's
take
not
a.
Mueller.
But my only question is, again, I know it's simple-minded. He's had $17 million. He's had a year and a half.
Yeah.
He has a whole bunch of professional.
Maybe it's $1 million per
and
indictment.
But
17
if you look at what they're doing, look. Let me give you an example. They indicted a Russian firm, which came into court recently and said, "Try us," because we did not exist on the date you indicted us
How about
for.
the guilty plea?
Can we go to a commercial break, please? Thank you. Newt Gingrich is sticking around, and we'll thank God, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.